What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we're jumping in to break down the weekly reset for Destiny 2 coming on the 6th of June. So with this reset we're going into the third week of Season of the Deep, and so the season content continues to roll out. We will get new steps for the major season story quest, and of course we'll also see new weekly challenges run alongside that, but additionally we'll get some new elements to the deep dive activity, fishing, and the core Season 21 content. But also we'll cover the weekly Nightfall, featured activities, and the raid challenge, as well as some of the featured rewards for the reset and the week ahead. So as always guys, I hope you find the video useful today. If you do, be sure to get subscribed and turn on notifications so I can keep you up to date with Destiny. But without further delay, let's get into it. And so initially, of course, we can expect to see new steps for the season story quest this week. In typical fashion, these will be picked up in the Helm, and while we can't see the upcoming steps, they'll probably take a similar form to what we've had in previous weeks, where we need to run both of the pieces of activity content, and we'll get dialogue and things like that in addition as well. It also looks like for the deep dive activity that we'll get the final boss in the rotation, so based on triumphs there are 3 bosses featured. So this will likely be the final week of that rotation, and of course it will cycle back round next reset. And then with the Throne World having been the exotic featured fishing pond to this last reset, that should move over to Nessus instead this week. And then we get onto the weekly challenges for week 3 of the season. And so, initially there's Into the Depths 3, and we need to complete week 3 of Into the Depths. That's the story quest we just mentioned. There's also Frontline Salvager 3, and we need to complete salvage or deep dive activities while wielding any of the Season of the Deep weapons. Additionally, we can defeat targets with arc or strand damage anywhere in the system, with Guardians granting additional progress. There's also Depth Charge to defeat bosses in salvage activities, of which we need 5. And then we have Short Range Salvager to defeat targets with SMGs or swords, and defeated Guardians or combatants defeated in salvage or deep dive activities will grant additional progress. But there's also Nessus activities to earn progress by completing bounties, patrols, public events, and lost sectors on Nessus, as well as Commendation Appreciation to earn progress for giving commendations in Vanguard, Crucible, or Gambit activities. The final few challenges here though include Cosmic Churn to defeat Guardians in Crucible, with bonus progress granted for opponents defeated with Arc, Strand, or Void ability final blows. And we have Bank Kill Repeat as well, to earn points by banking moats, defeating blockers, and Guardians in Gambit. Then there's Ultimate Champion, and we gotta defeat champions in Nightfall strikes on hero difficulty or higher, and we get bonus progress at each higher difficulty tier. And finally, Mid-Range Calibration to calibrate mid-range weapons including hand cannons, glaives, auto rifles, fusion rifles, and machine guns. And there'll be bonus progress once again right there for defeating Guardians. So that does it for the challenges, and then we get onto the Vanguard. So the featured Nightfall for this week will be the Disgraced. We don't know what the featured Nightfall weapon will be, as we haven't seen a full rotation of that, but do keep in mind that Grandmasters will return next week, so if you happen to have any prep still left to do, it'll be best to get that wrapped up this coming week if you plan to jump into GMs next week. In the Crucible though, Clash and Team Scorched should be featured this week, and we will see bonus Crucible ranks as well. Of course that missed the Iron Banner week last week, but Bungie always want to engage us over multiple weeks, of course, so take advantage of the bonus this week if you're going to jump in. We should also see the return of Trials at the weekend though on Friday's daily reset. I'm sure you guys won't forget, but of course there will be the refresh on the Ghosts of the Deep dungeon as well. And don't forget to pick up the quest from Hawthorne if you plan to jump into the Last Wish raid to farm out any of the Red Border weapons. For the Root of Nightmares though, this week we'll get the Cosmic Equilibrium challenge, and so the featured weapon drop will be the Briar's Contempt linear fusion rifle. But for the weekly raid and dungeon rotation, this week coming, we're going to see the Deepstone Crypt featured, as well as the Pit of Heresy on the moon. So, of course, if you're jumping into Deepstone Crypt, it's going to be a good time to pick up your Eyes of Tomorrow drops, especially with the buff to the raid triumphs, and of course we get craftable Deepstone Crypt weapons in there as well. I should once again reiterate that we can't see the full Eververse inventory for the season, or at least we can't see when things are going to be sold specifically, so if you're not in the game tomorrow, be sure to tune in and I'll keep you posted with the weekly vendor reset video at the weekly reset. Otherwise, if you do want a preview of all of the items available for Bright Dust this season, I'll link a separate video down below. But when it comes to the featured Lost Sectors this week, initially for Tuesday's reset, we'll see K1 Communion drop in exotic legs, and this is still the main way to earn new exotic armor pieces for this season currently, although Bungie have said that they should be updating the Vex Strike Force to be able to drop Season of the Deep exotics as well. But Tuesday's K1 Communion dropping exotic legs, then for June 7th we'll get Sepulture dropping exotic arms, June 8th will be Extraction dropping exotic chest pieces, and then we'll get exotic helmets on June the 9th from Aphelion's Rest. For June 10th though, it'll be the Chamber of Starlight dropping exotic legs. June 11th, we'll see the Bay of Drowned Wishes dropping exotic gauntlets, and finally, we'll get Vel's Labyrinth on June 12th, which will be dropping exotic chest pieces. Then for the Dares of Eternity, while a lot of players won't be jumping in for the Pinnacle drops, if you are after the additional world drops for the week, we should see the Scatterhorn armor set, as well as the Lightkin armor set featured as random drops. And then we'll get a bunch of weapons from Season of the Splicer, as well as Forsaken world drops. The very last thing though, if you're jumping into the Ascendant challenge this week, is that it will be featured in the Shattered Ruins, which can be found in the spine of Keres. So pretty easy one to find, but if you do want gameplay of the location for that one this week, we'll run it at the end of the video. And otherwise guys, that is everything that we have to speak about in this one. So if you've enjoyed the video today, a rating below really does help us out on the channel. Also be sure to get subscribed so I can keep you posted with everything related to Destiny 2. Let us know if you plan to jump into the game this week down in the comments section as well. But otherwise, with any news and things like that, I'll be sure to keep you posted. And for now, I appreciate you guys tuning in, and I hope you have an awesome day.